That was like a street sign, a work sign that it rolled up. And like yeah, these ones were like semi truck uh, flaps. They're like on the side of a semi. They're super heavy. They fell off the wall in my house. That killed me, but they're really heavy. But they and then it's all these antique books and stuff from the yard that all went into the thing. And anyway, yeah, I kind of liked them. Oh. And actually, originally, this umbrella was turned the other way, but the wind turned it inside out, and I think I like it that way. But it was like just 2 years of, like every time I passed it, I would just paint a little color on it, and then the weather has done its own thing to it, which I really like. In fact, there's like in this one, this is my friend's blood. It says backup plan. So my people call me, and when they have something that they think I might like, and so there's actual blood in those vials of my friend Jason, and so I put that in there as humanity's last hope. The guy that lived here and owned this house and worked here, that was his shop, and he had his family told me, like, he built all kinds of stuff. You can see like all the time and the history, and I like the idea of taking some of his pieces that he spent time on and putting them into the pieces that I'm making, because then they have like this value that travels with them. And so yeah, there's like a real flag in there that goes down to about here, I think, and then I just kept adding over and over on it, and it took like, I don't know, 6 months of just adding. There's books in there, there's a book cover. It's not supposed to have any kind of there's no political point to it. I just like the value that the image of the flag has, and I wanted to do it because it's complicated, I felt like, and so like there's fabric, and so I wanted a complicated flag as opposed to just a normal flag. It's not actually art that I love, I don't think. I think it's art. All it does is it gets me into the here and now, which is like the only thing that works for me in not destroying myself, is to be here now. I'll start to live in anxiety if I start living in the future. If I start thinking about my past and the wreckage that's my depression. So my depression's in the past, my anxiety's in the future, and the only thing that seems to work for me is to be here now. Although I do like the idea of creation, of like, I like creating things that weren't necessarily there before, whether it's like art or music. I just like the idea that we can create whatever we want, and so in a lot of ways I think we should. Like for me, like alcohol and benzos and pain pills and heroin and all these things, like there's a reason why we do them, because they work until they don't work. And I got sober, and I did what they told me to do, and I went. I've been to rehabs, and I went to AA and got a sponsor. And what changed for me about a little over 5 years ago was that I was suicidal and sober, and I just thought, I can't go on like this. And so I changed everything, in that I started to try to live, instead of trying to not just not die. We have this void, and for whatever reason, I think we all have it. Maybe it's a longing for, I don't know, something eternal in us or something, but there's this void in these human bodies, and it's going to get filled like a vacuum, like a black hole. Things will get sucked in to the black hole. But I'm a drug addict at heart, where I want more. I always want more, and I want more endorphins, and I've figured out that I can have as much as I want, but I can only do it with the things that don't make me crash, and that don't make me lose the other things that I love. And so, like, art fills a big chunk of that cup. Music fills a chunk of the cup. My wife fills a ton of it. My kids fill, my kids and my wife and my family fill most of the cup. One of the problems with society in general is that when something works for us, we get super excited, and we want to tell everybody else, this is the only way for you. And we do that with religion, and we do that with most things. I think that this worked for me, and it's the only way that it will work for you. And it's just not true. There's many, many, many ways to do this life. I'm the director of admissions at I Am Recovery. I'm on the board for the Sobriety Foundation. I do some other work with some treatment centers. Why I work in the industry that I work in is that it gives me purpose. Like, I just don't think I could go work at a company or a desk job where I was just filling out forms or whatever and putting them over here. Like, I want to see the ripples. I think lots of us, because we're trained to think that, like, this is the way that life is supposed to go, and when it gets derailed, it can be real depressing to think that you didn't do it in the way that it was supposed to go, and it 100% does not have to go in any predetermined way. Do what you want to do is the only, I don't give advice, but, like, do whatever you want to do, like, and enjoy it. And I think there is something to be said about love and the way that ripples through the universe. And I don't understand it, and the cool thing is I understand now that I don't have to understand it in order to do it. So that's it. I'm gonna keep doing it.